Testing 1, 2.
Check.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
Check 1, 2.
Check. Welcome back to another episode of the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marcus Marx.
What's up? And I'm Victor Junior.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Whole bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck 2020, bro. Fuck 2020, straight up.
Been a really rough. It's been a rough year for everybody.
Fuck
On record, you know.
yeah. On record.
As far as I can remember, I don't remember a year this, fucked up.
No.
I mean, I do for personally, but like globally, like in general, everyone is really, really going through it.
Yeah, personally, it's not really fucked up. Like I've had fucked up years before.
Exactly.
But it's just like,
but it's like,
there.
it almost levels out though, because
Yeah.
it's on a global level, and you know how you could feel vibes from people. You can
yeah.
feel it. You can like cut the tension in the air with a knife. You know, that's how bad it's getting. It's now it's starting to affect everybody. You know, and this like the quarantine and everything is weighing on people, and I'm like starting to hear that quarantine's a joke. By the way, you know, because no one is doing it. No one is social distancing. No one's taking any of the precautions. You know, hey, to each their own. But you're contributing to the furtherance of this decline. You know. And to the aggressiveness that they're taking as far as like protocol goes, because they're looking into shutting things down again, and people wonder why. And it's like, well, dude, look what no one's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So why do you think they're trying to shut it down again? You know, and you can go into your conspiracy theories and do what take your mind wherever it's gonna lead you. But and at the end, I mean, just do. It's not that hard to wear a mask.
It's not hard. And look, think about your life. You know, think about how quickly. So a good way to do this little tiny exercise is think about 10 years ago. Think about November or Thanksgiving time 10 years ago. You probably can't even remember that time or surrounding times, but think about how quickly the time just boom, flew by from 2010 to 2020.
A decade just flew by, yeah.
Just flew by, right? So doing this and staying in, what's a year? I mean, even 4 or 5 months, just do it. Just screw it. Let's just do this. Suck it up. Let's stay inside. Let's just keep our mask on. Or even if you're going out, wash your hands, wear your mask, use your Lysol, all that other stuff. But this is going to pass. And as soon as we know it, it's going to be gone so quickly that we're going to be like, wow, we're over it. But it's like wearing your mask doesn't mean that you're not going to get sick. Doesn't mean that you are going to get sick. It just helps as a preventative, and that's all it is there for you. And it's like having car insurance. It doesn't mean you're going to get into an accident, but you have the car insurance so that in case you do, you're covered. So cover up. It's like wearing condoms too. You don't want somebody to get pregnant. So, it's part of the safety now.
Just do it. I mean, come on, Nike. Just do it. It's really not hard, dude. I think people are just really having a hard time with the authority part of it,
Yeah.
People don't like to be told what to do.
They don't.
People want to do their own shit, And a lot of people are
ignorant.
Like to be
told what to do.
A lot of people are ignorant, though. They don't think that they refuse to believe that this is real. And, my mom texted me the other day, and she asked me, she's like, do you guys have a toilet paper? I was like, why? She's like, because
is it going again?
Yeah, because I guess people are starting to clear the shelves again. I was like, son of a bitch, dude. It brought back all the hatred that I had for people, remember?
Well, water bill's going to go up.
How many times have I been, sit down with a podcast with you and talked about how I hate people, and I'm really not, I realize how different I am from people because of the way that we think and how, fragile people's minds are and stuff like that. Not to say that I'm not, because everybody is, but like there's still morals and stuff and like things that you do. Like, dude, the other day, just to I'm getting off track, but I'll circle back. The other day,
hey, this is life, bro. We're that's the podcast. This is what our podcast is all about. We're not circling or cutting stuff up. It's just normal. We're just every day, and this is what comes off the top of our heads, and this is what we're talking about. So we're not trying to circle around or beat off. It's just a normal conversation, folks, and that's how we do it.
Okay, yeah, it is. It is for real. Like I have ADHD bad, so it's like it's gonna happen.
Welcome
Bear with
to
me.
the
I'm
show.
sorry. But there was I was driving right, and I was driving down the street. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this mic. New setup here. And we were at a stoplight, and somebody pulls up next to us, and then I saw them open their door. I looked over and shit, and she kind of got out a little bit. I was like, what the fuck? So I kind of leaned over and looked. And she took her fucking soda and just placed it in the street, and then like she was done drinking it, so she just fucking took it and then just put it in like in the middle of the road, dude. And I'm in my head, I'm just like, dude, this is the fucking problem, you know? And I really, really wanted to say
I think
something.
I have an explanation for that.
Yeah, you're a fucking lazy fuck and you like to litter.
Or she's like, you know what? I have to stop fucking drinking soda.
Unless it was
It's
piss.
so
Unless you
fat.
pissed in it.
She probably did. Hey, I pissed in a jar before, or not a jar, but like a bottle.
Well, we've all
water
done it on a
bottle,
road trip, but
you
like,
know?
dude.
Hell yeah.
So what was what did you your reason behind her doing that? What do you think?
The reason behind her doing that
Yeah,
was
you were gonna say you think you know why.
yeah, and I probably forgot already. No, you know what it is I was gonna say she probably pissed in it.
That's not what you're gonna say.
I know I wasn't. Or maybe she decided she was listening to the radio or a podcast, and they're saying, you know, soda's so fucking bad for you. She says the only way to stop drinking this is have it to get rid of it right now, this very second. I gotta open the door and put it
No,
there.
really though. Like, how do you feel about people littering and stuff?
No, I think it's bullshit.
For me, it got me mad.
It's disrespectful. You know, are you gonna go walk in your house or into anybody else's house and just throw a fucking napkin on the floor? No, hell no. If you do that in my house, I'm gonna be like, hey, you're not welcome back to anymore. You know, because you don't have any respect.
I don't like littering. I just think it's just like, dude, just wait till you get home and put it in the trash.
I think it's a respect issue. It's a respect for our planet. It's a respect for our planet is our home. It's a respect for that. And, you know, like it's just disrespectful just to do something like that. Don't be fucking lazy, man. Come on. Just go to the fucking, and everywhere there's a trash can, even at fucking bus stops, there's a trash can. You could find one, just pull up behind it and toss your shit in the trash can. Have I done it before? Yes, I have. I've littered before.
I've done it before too, but as a
Yes.
youngin', you know, before I understood, this was an older woman. You know better at that point. Unless you don't know better, you were just taught like that it was okay. Because a lot of people are just taught that it's all right, you know, and nobody says anything, you know. But I mean, I've done it before too, but I stopped.
I'm sorry.
I've done it though.
No.
Like
I
18, 19.
I remembered a video.
Of what?
There was a video where this people are sitting on the curb and then they toss out a water bottle or something. And this little kid is walking by and he picks it up and he gives it back to them. He's like, hey, this, you know, you littered this. The dad's a little bit behind the kid, and so they open the door. Oops, fighting here. They open the door, right? And the dad comes up fast and kicks the door back and like, nah, you shut that shit down. Like he threw my son knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
You know, pick up your shit. Don't throw your shit around here in my neighborhood.
That's why I like kids, you know, because they're so honest. They don't hold back.
More honest than I am.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, the older you get, the more of a filter you develop, you know, because of society's opinions on you.
Wait, so since we're on that about honesty, can we talk about that?
Yes.
So I'm having fucking a global crisis right now at home in my own relationship. So we were broken up for what, 7-8 months, you know that, and things happened. He wanted to go to rehab, so I came back. I took him to rehab, and yeah, I'd say him. So what? Took him to rehab, and he, you know, he couldn't go. It was quarantined, so I said, okay, I'll stick with you, and we'll work this shit out, you know, and we'll do this together, you know. And so we're doing that, and then he asked me, were you with anybody, you know, when we were together? And I just said no, I wasn't. I lied. I'm straight up. I lied. I said no, we weren't. I just didn't want to go down that rabbit hole of question.
First of all, you guys were broken up though, so
we were broken up
for a good amount of time.
Oh yeah.
So
a while.
Whatever you guys agreed, you came to a mutual agreement to break up. So whatever you did within your time that you were broken up is not his business anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa. What he did is none of your business.
None of my business.
Unless it's gonna directly affect you by getting back together. You know, when you guys do get back together.
But no. And so I'm asleep, and then he's going through my Snapchat and he finds a video from 8 months ago. That I was fucking around and I was in a video, and I'm gonna be honest and say that right here.
We're not perfect, man. We're human beings.
I wouldn't have done this
We all
any
got
other
a freaky
time.
side.
I wouldn't have done this or said this any other time. And yes, I did fuck around, and I did get filmed when we were fucking around.
Hey,
And
anybody
he,
out there acting like they've never made a porno, you're a fucking liar. Everybody's done it at least once or twice. This is the fucking era of the iPhone. If you've never put that fucking iPhone on your nightstand facing you guys while you're fucking, you're lying. You're lying.
ass motherfuckers right now.
It's fine. You're okay. Don't try and justify it.
Right?
Who cares? Honestly, dude.
So, and,
Psycho, I'm out of here. Nah.
Bye, hey, freak. No, and then he was just like, so he went through my phone and he found it in my Snapchat that I had it sent to another friend about 8 months. It even says right there, it says sent 8 months ago. It's right on there.
Beauty of
I
Snapchat.
screenshotted it and everything, get my shit straightened out. But my whole thing was I didn't want to have to go down that rabbit hole of explanation, who, what, where, when, how, why, how deep, whatever.
We get it. Like I get it. Like I understand,
But I shouldn't have lied, and I get that.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. Just to set the record straight, I probably wouldn't have lied either. I would have told the truth, but you did it for your own reason.
But you know what?
Circumstances are different.
I should have turned around and I should have said, look, I'm just not going to discuss what I did when I wasn't with you. That should have been the best thing to say. I mean, but now that I think about it, because I didn't think about it then because I was quick and I was like, no. And yeah, I did lie and I'm sorry for lying. But I'm not sorry for what I've done because I did it when I wasn't in that relationship. I'm not sorry that you found it. Should I have deleted it? I thought about it about 6 months ago, or when I had first came back 3 months ago. Sorry, I thought about maybe I should just delete that because I've seen it in there several times. But I was like, no, what do I have to worry about? It's not like it wasn't like we weren't together any, so I didn't even trip on it. But it was, I guess, hurtful. And he said that it wasn't the fact that I was doing it; it was the fact that I lied about it, which I agree. And I agree, and I 100%. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate messages. I understand that.
From our 10 subscribers, yeah?
No, there's more now. Yeah, I was been looking at it. It's cool. But I'm going to get some hate messages. But, I did, and I fucked up by lying. But we weren't together. Maybe I should never have had that saved. I could have avoided this whole entire situation that we're going through right now.
There's a lot more to the story, though.
He left, and he's been gone for a couple days. I finally got into contact and we spoke, and he was like, this is grounds for just ending the relationship. So I said, I understand that. And I agree with you 100% if that's how you feel. This is all happening today. And yes, I'm still here and I am recording. Life happens. Shit happens. Life cards come out your way, but you still have to work. You still have to do what you got to do. And you have to keep going no matter what's happening.
Can't let it get you down, man. You can let it get you down, but don't let it hold you down.
Trust me, it's been getting me down. I even forgot my glasses. I haven't ate all day just because I haven't thought about eating. But I'm not going to allow this to stop me in my life. Yes, I love him with all my heart. 125%. I love him with all my heart. And it hurts like hell. It hurts that I fucked up by lying. But there's other things that happened within the last couple of days. He went out on a drug binge, and I don't agree with that, and I will not tolerate that. Yes, I did fuck up, and yes, I did lie. So it might be it is my fault the way I look at it, the way I'm seeing it.
I just feel like you're almost feeling guilty for lying, but
yeah, because
like you're trying to justify him going off the deep end and binging.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you're trying to justify it, and that's not on you.
Yeah, no.
That's not on you at all.
No, because that's his own choice. That's what you do. You can't say that I did this to you and forced you to do it because you ultimately chose to go and do that. I'm not gonna and I'm not gonna allow you're right. You're 100%. Thank you for that. I can't allow anybody's choices or what they decide to do with themselves.
And you know what? The truth surfaced. And he could do with that information what he wants to do, so accept the fact that, maybe you did fuck up. And the grand scheme of things is really not a big deal, because you guys were fucking broken up. I understand that he asked you truthfully, hey, did you do something? He expected the truth. And I understand that's a red flag.
Yeah.
It is a red flag, but that's where the line is drawn, that you did your part, you admit it. Okay, don't let them try and fucking. This goes for anybody, you know. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck who it
yeah.
is, you know. I don't care if it's my sister or whoever. If they're fucking up, then I'll tell them they fucked up. But don't let the other person take advantage of you and make it seem like their relapse is because of you.
Oh, yeah, no, fuck that. That's bullshit,
That's why I'm
and
saying there's other
yeah.
parts to the story and stuff that are making you
Oh,
feel this way,
yeah.
but you shouldn't feel like it's your fault.
Well, leading up to these, within the last couple weeks leading up to this was I've been getting little things here and there with, like, from him telling me, I feel like using again, or I feel like going back to using. I said, "Well, keep the strength of
And
the
this is where it
family."
gets serious
Yeah.
because this has been a problem for a long time.
Yes. And I said, "Well, keep the strength of our family. I'm still here. I love you, and I'm going through the struggle with you, and I will always go through the struggle with you." Um, and this happened. Um, I, so okay, so going back, so for the last couple of weeks, he's been saying that he's been thinking about using. He's been thinking about meth a lot, and he last year when he's been doing good for several years now. Last year he went into this group thing, the psychology thing, and he was in there. He started using there, and then he stopped going, and then he went back like last week, and now he's there again. Well, yeah, for the last couple weeks he's been back. Now he's there again, and he's using again with people there. And that doesn't make sense. If something's there to help you, but then you're gonna go communicate with other people and then go out and use, why are you gonna go waste your time going to that place? Which I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand.
Because now you're viewing it as like, are you just going to hang out now?
Yeah,
You're not
but
going to get better
I
because your actions are saying otherwise.
yeah, and I guess I shouldn't say that because I'm not there. I'm
But
not
the
living
but the
that, and I
proof
don't
is in the pudding,
understand.
dude. I mean, if you're telling me if somebody's telling me that they're going to rehab or therapy to
Yeah.
get better, but then they end up relapsing because of that therapy. I'm not saying it's because of the therapy,
No, yeah, yeah.
but
It's their own
you're
choice, of
defeating
course.
the purpose of going to therapy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The whole reason of going to therapy is because you made a mess in
Oh
your
wait,
life
but
and
you
you're
know
trying
what?
to clean it up.
He started going back like a week ago.
I know.
Or a
Yeah, I
couple
know.
weeks ago, and then a couple weeks ago, or yeah, he's been talking about I feel like going back to using. So now it's all starting to. I am sorry. It's making sense to me now as I'm speaking because I think I was clouded by the situation that was going on, and now you know how speaking with you and being on this podcast, my mind is I'm releasing a lot, and it's getting more clear. And now that other stuff is coming to me, it's starting to dawn on me right here, right now. Like a lot of the shit, like
But you knew that last time though too. That
yeah,
like that wasn't
that's
contributing to
crazy.
any like positivity in his life. It was kind of making it worse in a sense. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you're still getting the tools if you're listening to the instructor,
Yeah, because
the
they're doing their
therapist,
part.
but it's the environment, you know?
Yeah,
That's why I never wanted to do group therapy. And I think I've discussed this with you before
yeah,
because other people's problems, you know? I mean, it's just like it's more negativity. I need more of a one-on-one.
yeah. And we're not saying anything bad about group therapy because
If it works for you, it works for
if
you.
it works for you, it works for you. If it may work for some people, not for others. Group therapy may not be for me, may not be for him. It may be for me, or it may be for him or other people,
It's just berries.
but it varies. Now, there's nothing wrong with the facilitators of the groups. There's nothing wrong with the companies that are putting those group therapies out there. There's nothing wrong with the groups at all. It's the individuals that make the choices to do outside of that group. And I'm sure it's not everybody because I'm sure that there's a large percentage of those people in that group that are there, they're getting their help and they're changing their lives. They're making a difference in their lives and they're going to continue that. But then you have the others, the few that will choose to go the other route or stay the other route. And you'll have those people who click together who are just there just for the paperwork of having that you went to therapy, but you're still going to use. So,
And then each individual it varies very, highly per individual. And
yeah.
so some individuals are more susceptible to that type of environment when it comes to having the urge to use again.
Yes.
Some people are way more susceptible than others would be. Some people are more resilient in that way and they know the task that they're there for and that's it. They don't let anything else get in the way of that. Others, like I said, they're more susceptible to it and sometimes it is a trigger, you know, and it
It,
becomes a trigger rather than a tool
you
for
know
you to
what?
get
Fuck
better.
that. Dude, I want to do a shot, bro.
Go ahead.
I want
There's
to
one
do a
right there.
shot.
Oh, careful. I wanna ask you though, like, because all of this is a direct result of mental illness.
Yes.
It's because of mental illness that this type of thing is going on. And I know this individual very well, and it's somebody who I love, and I'm never gonna mention a name, but this person struggles really very deeply with mental illness, and it's just some people. Salud.
Cheers. Cheers, brother.
Careful. Some people, no matter how hard you try, or no matter how much you love them, no matter how much you tell them that they do have support, despite of what they think, nothing is going to change that person's mind. That's just and then obviously there's different circumstances, because everyone goes through their shit growing up, and some people are more severe than others. Their situations, and in this person's particular case, that happens to be, a fact.
There's a lot of what past.
It's just darkness, dude. It's
yeah,
just a lot of
past
fucking dark
darkness,
shit.
yeah.
And as much as you tell this person, like, look, I'm here for you and I love you and I'll do anything for you, it's never gonna be enough for that person to want to correct their own life. People that see suicide as their only option is because they feel like there is no option. That's suicide is preferable to the pain that they're feeling. They'd rather, it's not that they're giving up, and it's not because they're not a strong enough person. It's just they're so fucking sick and tired. Or if they relapse, the same goes for that. They're sick and tired of the pain, and it's easier just to go that route, and it's preferable to feeling that pain,
And that's the thing, when you know him, he's a suicidal person sometimes. So
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I just fucking hate the fact that there's times where I'm just like, dude, I don't ever want to get that phone call,
Yeah.
And we've been through this before, and it's a fucking crazy. It's a very, very serious thing. But like at the same time though, I'm here to help you, because at a certain point, dude, I tried to help as much as I possibly could. I called you and I checked up on you. I wrote you letters, and I fucking visited you, dropped in on you as much as I could, But at a certain point, they start to push you out of their life, And I know deep down, these people, no matter what, are gonna love me back, because that's just how it goes. But at a certain point, you got to realize, like, okay, this person made their own decision.
That's right.
There's nothing you can do to change that. And as much as I hate it, I kind of had to step back. Because I'm more of a hands-on person. I never want to stop loving you and making sure you're okay. But if you're not trying to help yourself,
there's nothing you can do.
What can I do?
There's nothing you could do.
I'm not giving up on you by any means, because my arms are open, wide open. You can come to me anytime. But that's your choice.
And you've always been open like that. You're
with
always
anybody.
Yeah.
And but the same goes for you. You got to draw your line in the sand and be like, look, how much am I gonna allow myself to take? How much of this chaos am I gonna allow into my life? Because you're on your own fucking path.
Yeah.
We're doing it right now. You're trying to better the world,
Oh yeah.
And you've got a lot of shit going on. And the last thing you need is that train derailed. Because it's hard. It was hard to get that train on the tracks in the first place.
Yeah.
You've derailed your life on your own before, and you know where that got you.
Oh yeah, it got me shit.
Got you. Where did it get you? At the bottom of
Rock
a bottle
bottom.
and the bottom of a prescription bottle.
Almost got me buried.
Yeah.
It almost got me buried. Literally.
You wanted it to have you buried.
Yeah, I did, in a sense. Yeah,
No, you did.
Because fuck life. Yeah, I was like, fuck life, and I was just giving up. But to me now, it's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna fucking take advantage of it. I'm just gonna fucking take advantage of it, use it to my advantage, take care of myself 100. And if I take care of myself 100, then I know that if I want to help others, I'm gonna be able to help them. I'm gonna be able to help them, and I'm gonna be able to take care of them, because I've already taken care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to take care of myself. We're all going to go through our life cards. We're all going to go through bullshit in our life, and we're going to go through a divorce. We're going to go through a breakup, and it's going to fucking hurt like hell. It's going to hurt like hell. We're going to feel like it's the end of the world, and we're just going to crumble within ourselves. But you know what? We have to, or at least we have to make a choice to move on and go on. And especially if you have children, Because if you're at home and you're getting a divorce and you have kids, they're watching every single thing and they're learning every single thing that they're seeing at that moment in time. So remember that, keep that in mind. And remember that who you are as an individual in this life makes a difference because there's no other person like you. And that's what I've come to in my life. And things are going to happen. And I'm just going to fucking keep taking steps forward, taking steps forward. It feels like I'm walking and all the snowstorm is just coming towards me and I'm going against that storm. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to keep on going.
You know what?
I don't give a fuck.
You know what I do every time I'm feeling fucking like really, really depressed? And I'm just a competitive person this way. And I want, even though I know I'm not in control of my existence and the things around me,
Yeah.
because I don't know. It's out of my control. But what I do know is I can control the way I approach a situation when I do feel a certain way. And a lot of the time, I don't know, maybe somebody does this too. Just being a prideful person, you know, and not wanting to give up. Because I've never been one to want to give up. As much as I wanted to, you know, go down that path, you know, and commit suicide. And how many times I've had those thoughts a million times, 100,000 times. You know, those intrusive thoughts that you just can't get away from. As much as I wanted to do that, there's still that fucking flame inside of me that even though it's flickering, it's still there.
Yeah.
And all I got to do is I'm the one that has the power to add the oxygen to it to make it burn even hotter, you know,
burn
brighter.
High.
But a lot of times I do. I don't know if you do this, but every time I'm feeling my worst and I feel that depression and I'm going through my shit, I'll fucking sit on the couch or whatever I'm doing in that moment when I'm feeling it the most, and I'll just go like this. Fuck you. I'll go like this. Motherfucker, try it. I do it all the time, bro.
Try it, bitch.
No, not like that. It's just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna steer this shit.
I'm in control.
I'm gonna give you a big ass smile. I've noticed sometimes like things will happen to get worse after that. I'm like, damn, I kind of regret doing that.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
You know, you ever
lightning hits you. What was that?
You ever seen Forrest Gump where he's fucking on top of the goddamn ship and the storm is going crazy? He's like, fuck you, you and me, like it's a showdown and this and that. And like later on, they're like, yeah, I think that's when he made his peace, you know. But like that's what that type of shit is about. It's about making your peace, you know. And I'm the one steering the ship here, you know.
You are. You're in control. It's your vehicle, man. You know, our body is like a car, and our spirits are driving that body, you know, and taking care of that body. And it's up to us if we want to allow life and the life cards to actually not just get us down, but to actually throw us down and hold us down and chain us down. No. That's all bullshit. You either, you know what, and I'm just telling people, if you're considering suicide, you have to make a choice. You have to either live or die. And you could take the easiest way out, easier than anyone, is to die and just become a speckle of dust and not have a memory of you at all.
Even that's not guaranteed, though.
That's not guaranteed. Or you could just keep on fucking living, and instead of life fucking you, you fuck life. Not necessarily that way, but if you can understand what I'm saying.
Stand up. Life is being a fucking bully.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself and try and make it better, you know?
Yeah, be 12 feet tall.
Just imagine life as that punk-ass kid on the playground when you're 6th grade or in high school or whatever, trying to be the fucking, you know...
Not throwing life cards, fucking...
throwing putazos, you know?
Yeah, fucking...
Just imagine life as a bully, though, you know? It's trying to keep you down.
Yeah,
you know? And how do you face a bully? You know, you got to stand up to... You got to stand up to him.
You got to stand up and stand tall and show your strength.
You got to fucking grab your nutsack or your titties, whatever, and you got to march forward, you know?
Hey!
You do, though, you know? That's how you take on life. You know, whatever your circumstance is. And the darker the circumstance, obviously, the harder it's going to be, you know? But I feel like a human being can endure a lot more than we give ourselves credit for.
Oh,
you know, like on the exterior, yeah, we are very vulnerable and shit. And I can fucking nick you if my nail is sharp enough, you know? But the soul and the mind is what that's where your resilience lies, you know? Like this whole coronavirus thing, like they try to keep us inside, you know, and this is the shit that they're trying to lock up. Like it's our minds, you know, they're trying to fucking make us go crazy up here. And if you can stay strong up here, you can do anything, you know?
Yeah. And even if you are locked up, there's so much shit that you could do. You could even fucking work on yourself, you know, and just say, okay, I'm locked up, locked in. There's nothing I could do right now. Well, what can I do or what should I do? You know, just fucking start journaling and figure out what you want to do with your life. This is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. This is who is in my life. This is what I'm tolerating. And
You gotta flip the script.
you got to flip the script, and you got to keep going, and you got to evaluate your life at least on a monthly or weekly basis, whatever floats your boat on that sense. But reevaluate your life, the people in your life, what you're doing, how you're doing, the lies you're saying, the everything that's, I'm suffering a consequence from a decision that I made, and I understand that.
But here's the thing, dude. You're gonna make those. You're gonna fuck up
Yeah.
every now and then. It's gonna happen. It's just your goal is to fucking expand the period of time that you're gonna fuck up. You don't want to
Yeah.
be fucking up every week.
No,
And
of
if you
course.
are, then work on that. Then
Yeah.
fuck up every 2 weeks. And if you work on that, then it's every 3. And just separate that time period. You're gonna fuck up though, no matter who you are. I mean, it doesn't matter how perfect you think that you are, or how strong you think you are, or how fucking upstanding of a citizen that you think you are. Even the greatest of greats fuck up, dude. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen to everybody. So I mean, I think you should just, you accept it and then you move on.
Just keep fucking up. I'm just fine.
Yeah, just go to fuck it. Fuck it.
But you know what? Sometimes it's like it's not even intentional. It's just like a quick decision. Like when
It's a reflex.
it was a reflex when he had said, and I'm like, no, because I knew what was going to come after all that, and I was like, just like, no, I never thought about the, later on and this situation happening, and it is majority of it. Well, my actions are my fault, 100%. I own up to them. They're mine. That's what I did. It's what's a decision that I made, and I now have to suffer the consequences of that action, and I accept that. Whatever he decides to do, that's fine. But I'm not going to tolerate somebody going back to drugs. Sorry,
You know
it's
what
not
I-
my thing.
I also think though is that you
Nope.
guys have been in a relationship for a while, and it's been like this since the get go. And I just think that environment for you is not very good.
No, it's
I don't think it's good for what you got going on. And I think he's a big boy. He could take care of himself. And we told him we're here for you.
Yeah,
So if you don't want to listen to that, then that's on you.
I have to
I'm
keep
always
going,
gonna be here
bro.
for you.
I have to keep going, bro. I have to keep going. I have to focus on what we're doing, what I'm doing on the side, what's going on in my life. If you're choosing, and again, and I want to say this again because I'm trying to see it from the other side of it. I understand if I'm the one who found that, I'd probably be pissed too. I'd probably be really, really mad.
I've dealt with that before. You
know?
try to get back with somebody or whatever situation you're dating.
Little
And you
thing.
ask them, hey, did you fuck around with somebody? I want to know. And then you find out later that they were lying about it. But you got to ask yourself, do you even want to put yourself in that situation? Do you want to keep going through this with that person?
No.
Because there is somebody out there that you're going to find where you don't go through this bullshit. You don't break up at all. That's not even a thing. Whatever problems that are, presenting themselves, you work them out.
You have to work them out and work through them.
You work through them and you get over shit. That's what you
Yeah.
do. If you love someone enough, then then you'll make your decision whether or not you're gonna accept that. And if you can't accept it, then fucking man up or woman up and take yourself out of that situation because you are in control here.
Yeah.
You're not locked up. You're not
Mhm.
locked down. You're not handcuffed to this person. You have your own fucking decisions to make. And yeah, it'll be hard to walk away from something that's hard to find. But dude, there's a lot of people out there.
No, I
There's
know.
7 fucking billion people on this earth, and you're telling me only one you get along with?
No. Yeah.
There's only one person you have chemistry with, really? It's
No.
just when you find that person, that's great.
Yeah.
You know?
And you need to
But
find
it ain't
somebody
the
who's-
end of the world
Yeah.
if you happen to break up with that person,
Yeah. Because I have too much going on right
And
now.
when you find that person, recognize it and treat it well.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
I have
That's
too much.
but here, let me talk. My point is he found a really good person, which is you. And if he can't recognize that you're good enough to treat correctly and not put you through this fucking bullshit, and if you're not a good enough reason to make him want to get better, then you need to remove yourself from that situation because he needs to recognize what the
That's
universe
true.
gave him. That's like if I fucking went and cheated on my fiance or some shit. It's like
Yeah.
I gave you, like I created this beautiful fucking person for you, and this is how you repay me
Mm.
by going and fucking just trashing it. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? You need to recognize the beautiful people that are in your life and understand what they bring because it doesn't happen all the time. Some people
No.
never find somebody else again.
And let
Whether
me
it
make
because of
this-
their own issues
yeah,
or whatever.
sorry.
But go ahead.
No. let me make this clear. I did not cheat on the relationship. We were broken up. Mark knows.
No, but I
We
was
were
just
broken
saying
up
that
for a
as a
while.
circumstance.
Yeah, you know.
I'm not saying. I'm just
No,
saying
I know.
like
Yeah.
you need to recognize that this person is a really, it's a blessing in your life that he found you. Because I think you're a good person and stuff, and he is too.
No, he
Don't
is.
get me
I'm blessed
fucking
for
wrong. He's
finding
a
him.
great person. I love him to
Yeah.
death. I'd do anything for that motherfucker. But I don't agree with a lot of the shit that he does as far as like in his relationship,
Yeah.
But that's not my business,
Yeah. No,
I'll
I
accept him
understand.
for whatever he does,
Of
But
course, yeah.
you gotta understand that you can't treat people like that. You gotta let them know that they are that person. If you are a great person, you gotta remind them of that. You
Yeah.
know, if if your partner is looking good, you gotta let them know.
Oh, yeah.
If your partner makes you smile and she makes you or he makes you the reason why you want to change and be a better person, then fucking remind them of that. That way they know that like, hey, look, I have some self-worth too, you know? Because yeah, I'll admit it, like my fiance is the only reason I wanted to get better. And why I'm changing my behaviors and why I've changed my lifestyle is because of that woman, It ain't because of me. I give a fuck about myself. How many times have I told you that?
Mhm.
I give a fuck. Like I really don't care. If it wasn't for her and my,
But you have to care about yourself, though.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
That's
working on it.
better, yeah.
I really am working on it. I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
And you are. I know that. I
I'll
see
admit
it.
it. I still don't give a fuck about me.
No, but I see it. You're coming a long way, bro. That's cool.
I'm working on it, yeah. But it's because I recognize that I have something great in my life and I have another chance to do this correctly.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw it away. And the same goes for like if you can't recognize it right now, it's just not the right time. That don't mean he doesn't deserve somebody great.
It's not the
Or-
season.
It's just not the season, bro. It ain't the chapter. Keep reading. See what happens.
Yeah.
But you got to put in the effort to read the book. Don't just burn it.
Oh, yeah, no. You got to go back to it. And that's the whole thing with life. Everything that we go through and what we've done, it's the life lessons that we have to
And also,
learn from.
And also study your book, your own
Yeah.
book. Go back and reread that shit. Highlight. Take a highlighter and highlight the bad shit that the stuff that is gonna contribute to you becoming a better person, because it's useful.
Mhm.
Just fucking look back on your shit and try and correct it. That's all it's about. So
It's correcting yourself, correcting ourselves. I have to, like I
my
said,
bad, I hella cut you. I was like, hey, let me talk.
No, that's good. No, you're scolding my ass. That's good though. That's what it's
Because I
about.
feel I see
know.
yourself feeling guilty about something that
Yeah.
it's out of your control and it ain't your fault.
And you know what's funny? It's a subconscious thing. I'm subconsciously doing that because my conscience is saying, "No, fuck this, fuck that. It's all about me." But then I guess it's and now that you're bringing it up, and that's what this podcast is all about: is recognition.
But you've done that for me,
Yeah,
or you pointed out some shit where like, hey, you gotta cut that shit out,
yeah,
when I can't recognize it.
yeah. Accountability. That's what we're here. That's what it's all about. And this is the type of people you need to establish relationships with in life. Is the people who are going to hold you accountable for your actions and call you out when you need your shit called out.
I've been a huge advocate of that
Oh, yeah.
since I was fucking a youngin', man. Like, the most important thing to me is if you see it, call it out, please. Don't
Yeah.
hold back.
That's how we
I
learn.
want you to fucking yell at me, and I want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because if you don't do that, I'm not gonna
I'm
see
not
it,
going to see it.
and I
or
can't fix it
recognize
if I don't see it. I need to be able to fucking recognize it in order to correct the issue. Like
right.
I gave you the example of my music. Like if I'm doing shit, please tell me that I'm shit because I'm gonna go along my whole life thinking that I'm good when I'm not.
Right.
And you want realism. You want
realism.
you want to be realistic about shit, You can't sugarcoat anything because that's what creates a fucking a dark individual, Somebody just a person who's always in denial because no one ever fucking called them on their bullshit. That's a lot of what bullies are.
Yeah.
Bullies never get fucking their ass handed to them, or nobody tells them shit. They're afraid to tell them shit and call them out on their bullshit. But the minute they get their ass beat, they're like, I got to change this. I can't walk around like this. I
And
can't
it's
be this person.
Standing up
somebody
to
called
life,
me out.
the
Yeah.
bully of life.
Yeah, fuck that guy. You like that stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's
Cheers, bro.
It's the Dalmore 12, so it's like a 12-year-old whiskey, whatever. But it's a Scotch.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't like it really.
No?
That's why I just have the bottle. It's a good what's it called? It's a good decor piece for me. I like the decor of it.
It's a tasty decor piece.
I like whiskey, don't get me wrong. I just don't like that one. I feel like it has a weird taste.
It's the smoky flavor probably that you don't like.
I don't know what it is about it. There was a distinct taste between that one and the whiskey that I normally like to drink.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah. So, um, one of the things I want to talk, if unless you have anything
No.
else to share on that topic, no, really, I want you to get it off your chest. You know, there's the thumbnail. If there's anything else,
Mexican songs, bro, like Clavadones. Oh wait, it goes like this. Clavadones te rincón, como tú claves a mi corazón. Sí, mi amor.
No llores.
Mi amor.
No
mi
llores.
vida. No.
Mijito, no llores. Por favor.
Mi jotito, no llores.
Mi corazón.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I gotta say about that. Nah, dude. I just wanted you to get it all out. Like whatever you wanted to talk about, you know. We can talk
No,
about.
thank you, bro.
Because most of these fucking episodes, I blabber on about my own shit. But I really meant it in the last one. Like, how are you feeling? You know, I really wanted to know. You know?
I was told last night when I was driving a passenger, he's like, "You're a really good listener."
Yeah, I tell
Like,
you that
well,
all the
thanks.
time. 'Cause I fucking don't shut up.
Hey, and he tipped me $15, bro.
That sucks.
No,
I give like 30. I'm
Oh.
just kidding. That's really good.
$15. I was like, what? That's a tip. Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Okay, so an issue I really wanted to talk about was going on disability if you have a mental illness.
Mm.
And I think that it's a very, 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 very important decision to make in your life, but
Mhm.
you need to know when to make that decision, you know? Because a lot of people, myself included, why I haven't gone on disability is because of the pride and the stigma
Hmm.
on mental illness and the stigma of going on disability, of not being able to earn your own dollar, you know? There's a
Mm.
huge stigma around that. People are terrified of being looked at like they're not a man.
I got something for you on that.
Go ahead. Yeah, I want to hear it.
So if you're going through that, remember, you paid into disability. That's your money already. That was taken out of your checks from
But
when
say
you
you
worked.
haven't worked though. Say you ain't worked before. There's people like that.
Then there's a reason why it's there.
Mhm.
There's a reason why a certain amount of funds are set to the side for you and I, for us, so that when situations like this do happen, that because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who've wanted to work since they were 18, but they've suffered from mental disabilities since they were 15 or since they were born, I should say. And so once they turn 18, whether they're in the foster care system or whatever, and they're suffering from mental illness, where do they go? They have nothing. They have no guidance. So disability for them, it's a different story. I believe they should get it. But everyone who has worked and you become disabled, then you've already put into that. That's yours. You've put money into that. That was like a savings account that you're putting into for this time. So don't hesitate to open that checking account up for yourself, because those are funds that you put into for a situation like this. I know because I was on disability and I got above average because I've been working since I was 14 years old. So the normal disability was like 6 something. And I'm going to be straight up. I got 1,500 a month with I'm straight up. It's not a lot, but I mean, it's a good chunk, but because of what I put into it already, you see? So when I was getting that, I finally, like you said, I'm on disability, I'm not doing shit, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing? So that's when I remember, I don't know if we talked about that last year. I think we did on one of the podcasts, but I wanted to come up with a book that was from disability to ability.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about
showing that, look, you don't have to be disabled forever. A lot of people are, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Some people just, it ain't in the cards, man.
Yeah, and
that's
just,
not your fault. You got
it's
dealt with
not.
what you got dealt with.
That's right. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get off disability. And then finally I was thinking like, okay, I want to get off disability because I want to save what I have here for when I'm older, if I live that long. But if it's there for you, take it because you put into it. And if you didn't put into it, that's okay. It's there for you to utilize because you can't work. Now, there's some people out there, I believe, that may not have any disabilities that are using it to their advantage, and that's okay. They're probably the ones on disability who will never want to get off disability, and that's okay for them. And that happens. It's going to be like that in every situation. But don't allow it to stop you from taking out what you've already put in, because that's your hard work, bro, and you deserve it. And right now at this time, if you're not if you don't feel mentally capable 100%, then that's what that's there for.
That's what I was saying about like recognizing when it's time to do that, you know.
Mhm.
But what holds people back a lot of the times and most times, and for myself included, is because the stigma that
Oh,
surrounds
yeah.
the decision to go
Oh, you're
on.
on disability, you lazy ass motherfucker.
You know
Yeah,
what? And
no.
it's fucked up because some people really, really need it, and their life would be a lot better off
Mhm.
if they just had that fucking helping hand, you know, because it creates a huge difference in your
You
life.
know how to deal with that?
Who, going on disability?
Mhm.
No.
Fuck what people say. Do it.
No, I know. See, and last year when I think it was 2019. Uh, I really considered going on disability, so I started my fitness journey. I sought out therapy. I went to the psychiatrist, talked to the psychologist rather about going on disability, and she was like, "Look, well, what's your goal? You know, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to stay on disability, or is this something that you want temporarily because you're trying to get better and eventually work?" And I said, "Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
That's the
I
goal.
want to correct my life, and I want to get into a mental space where I am capable of working. You know, rather than having to constantly hold myself back. I'm just flying off the handle because I can't work like that. You know,
Mhm.
it's impossible." You know, and some people, they have schizophrenia or they have other mental illnesses that it's even worse than that. It's not only are they trying to hold their emotions back, they're just fucking trying not to see the guy in the corner, you know,
I have a question for
because
you.
he's hallucinating. Huh.
If you had a tumor, would you go on disability? Because
Well,
you
of
can't
course.
work.
Yeah, of course. And
Well, it's a medical condition,
it
right?
is. Yeah. It's, you wouldn't look
So
at
is
somebody with a
mental.
broken leg as like,
So is
you
mental
wouldn't look at them
disability.
differently for going on disability because they
Yeah.
have a
I
broken
I
leg.
get what you're saying. It's the
It's the same for
stigma.
mental illness.
Yeah, and that's the thing, people, is that mental illness, things happen. Some people just automatically just boom, it hits them, and anxiety will hit them. And like we said, anxiety, OCD,
Uh,
killer for depression, and so it's okay to do it. It's okay to go in there, because if you have a tumor, you're gonna go to the doctor, you're gonna get it fixed, you're gonna get taken out, or even treated with whatever. Mental health, it's a medical condition. You need to get on disability, whether forever or temporary, to treat that condition, to figure out a medical or a medication cocktail like I did. And so I utilized that disability while I was trying to get my mental health um, contained and on a good regimen, a health regimen. And that's what it took. Yes, I do drink. Yes, I do smoke weed. I medicate that way. That is my choice. Am I saying it's the right thing to do? No, I'm not
that
saying it's
doesn't
the
mean
right
you're
thing to
trying to
do,
not trying to get better though.
but it doesn't mean that I'm not trying to help myself. It doesn't mean that I'm not trying to get better. It doesn't mean that I'm not taking my medications for my mental health. So, that being said, as I was receiving my disability and collecting that money, I was going to the doctor. I was seeing my psychologist. I was getting on a medication plan. I was getting my health taken care of. And after I got on a good medication regimen, and my health plan was better, is when I said, okay, now it's time for me to figure out what I can do that I could stop whenever I want. And for me, that was rideshare. I had to do rideshare driving, and that works out. It works out perfectly for me because I could stop whenever I want. I don't have to pick up a customer if I don't want to. I can. There's even some customers that we talk, and it's kind of like a little therapy thing, and I
Oh yeah.
enjoy doing my rideshare because it gets me to promote this podcast.
I used to love getting the older drivers because I would ask them crazy questions. I'd be like, "Hey, what do you think about like this or that?" Because they got a lot of backstory to them, and they
Oh,
got they
yeah.
got some experience, you know. So I treated it like a fucking therapy session too. I almost didn't want to drop that person off. I was like, "Can I just come in, have a cup of coffee with you, and
Right?
continue this conversation?" Like old ladies, you know, or
Yeah.
old men, you know, just people that have been through some shit. You know,
Well,
you
and
could
not
just
only that,
tell.
but a small town like this, like, and then I've been working nights because there's no drivers at night. So there's it's more busy at night. So while I'm working at night and it's busy, I'm meeting a lot of people and working the same night every night for the last week now. It's like I've been picking up the same people.
Regulars.
Yeah, regulars. So it's pretty cool to carry conversations. It's like I'm a barber or bartender.
Uh-huh.
So they're like taxi cab confessions. Dude, there's so much experience. One of these days, we're going to have a whole podcast just on freaking rideshare experience. You guys are going to freaking love it and flip because there's so many deep, scary, and interesting and exciting experiences that I've had while doing rideshare. And you can't wait to hear it.
But I wanna focus more on like how important it is to go on disability and how to like you shouldn't be shameful of doing that.
No, so see how I got off track?
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So I utilized the disability to get my condition worked out and getting taken care of. And that's what I did. Then I started to work again.
But I want to focus on the shame part of it, like why you shouldn't be shameful about it.
Oh, because you put into it. That's
No,
yours.
that, but it's like you said earlier, if you have a broken leg and you go on disability for it, no one's gonna look at you funny. It's the same thing. It's just something that you can't see.
What that
something that
boils
you-
down to, I get why I'm not seeing what you're talking about. Now I'm seeing what you're talking about. I see it now. I
Mhm.
got it. So what it is, it's
Was I wording it wrong?
no. I wasn't getting it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't getting it.
Yeah, I just
So,
want to talk about like the humility.
Okay. So let me start off by saying for me, at first, I know what you're saying. What am I gonna say when people say, "Do you have a job?"
Or even getting to the point where you recognize that you need to get on. Like, what steps do you fucking go through? You know, some people feel like
Hey,
it's a
the
pipe
same
dream.
step everybody else does. Google.
Yeah.
The same step everybody else does. Google SSI.gov. And I get what you're saying, and it's an embarrassment. Even there was even times to where I was on disability, and somebody would, oh, so what do you do for work? Oh, I'm on disability. Oh, and I would feel ashamed, but then I stopped feeling that way. And I think what I've done was I I get what you're saying. I don't feel what you're saying anymore
Why not?
because no, I don't feel like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I felt where you're coming from. I don't
Yeah.
feel like that anymore.
Yeah, but for the
because-
people who are feeling that way.
But for the people who are feeling that way, what I did was I had to stop. I had to convince myself to stop giving a fuck about what everybody says or thinks.
And you gotta be
Because
realistic.
everybody's going to say something or have an opinion no matter what it is, even if it's not disability, whether you farted in the store or whether you sneezed, no matter what it is, everybody's going to have a fucking opinion of what you're doing or what you've done in your life. So you know what? Do it for you, not for them. And don't worry about what people are saying. It
what would
takes a
you
long time to get that way.
What would you say for the people that are too prideful to go on it?
Fuck your pride. Go on it. And you
What's
know
more
what?
important?
Your disability.
exact-
What's more important, paying your bills and getting yourself worked out and fixed, or worried about what somebody's saying and then not paying your bills, getting more debt, and not being able to accomplish work tasks because you're fired because you have a mental health issue that you can't control? So you're gonna, one road that you go down, if you're working and you're not talking about your mental health issues or you're not treating your mental health issues, you're just a regular person. You're a regular person that doesn't think right. You're a regular person that some people might honestly just say, "Oh, you're just dumb. You just don't know how to learn," or whatever. When in reality, you have mental health issues that are blocking you from completing your tasks.
Working up to your full potential.
Yeah, and so you're gonna run from job to job, just getting fired
Can't
and fired
fly
and
with a
fired,
broken
and
wing,
then
man.
you don't have shit as a background. You don't have shit as a resume, and you're still not fixed. Get yourself fixed. You know what? Honestly, just go get yourself fixed. Fuck what people are saying. Get over that thought and get it done. Get it fucking done because it's your bills. It's your life. Fuck what people are saying or what they're doing. You have to take care of you. You have to get your own health straightened out and you have to get it recognized. And people are going to be with you in support or not with you,
It doesn't matter though.
drop them. Bye.
And then, like, because I dealt with that too, man. Like, you go to apply for a job and you have a whole, a year gap in between that where you didn't do shit. And it's like, you think there's like, what's your explanation? And for me, all the time, I would be so reluctant to tell the truth and be like, look, there's a gap in this fucking thing because I've been going through my own mental health issues and I can't what? What?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Crack the joke.
No, I'm not. It's just
Do it.
when you just said it, tell the truth. From what I've done.
Okay.
What did you just say right now?
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Some you didn't do, you
no,
idiot. I was kidding.
no, but you said that you less want to tell the truth.
Yeah, you're reluctant to tell
You're
the truth.
reluctant that's what you were saying. You're reluctant to tell. That's the same situation that I just went through. I was reluctant to tell the truth and it bit me right in the fucking ass, a big ass bite like this. It hurts.
Rewind back. I was reluctant to tell the truth when, they would ask me about that year gap on the resume. And I was always reluctant to tell the truth because of the stigma on mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're going to look at me a different way. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to hire me if I tell them, look, I'm bipolar, and I have severe anger issues and this and that, or whatever it is, this, that, and the third, And all the time, I would always catch myself filling in that blank with an excuse. Oh, well, I try to start a business, I try to do this and that, or I was out of town, or I traveled, or I was taking care of this, like everything under the sun except the truth, And that's all because of the stigma on it. And the same thing goes for disability, I was afraid to admit that I needed the help and afraid of, the
Don't be scared.
No, the reality of the situation,
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's the fucking case.
Yes.
They're afraid of the facts. And sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and be real with yourself. Yeah, the truth. We're going to call this episode The Truth.
The Truth episode.
Featuring Victor Junior and his fucking stupid lies.
I mean, I'm sure other people's done. Like, it was just like a quick thing. It wasn't like, I don't know. I was just
Nah,
like,
you fucked up.
I don't
I'm
want
just
to. No, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to discuss what I did. It's not really even any of your. But no, I didn't do nothing.
I think we should do 2 parts of this because there's a lot more that we can get into as far as going on disability goes and everything that comes with it.
One thing that you just said right now was that, employers may not hire you. This is a message to that employer. Just FYI, you probably yourself may possibly suffer from some type of mental illness, or
1 in 4 people,
or somebody in your family, whether your immediate family, your household, or your outside family. And I guarantee you, there's several people in your company right now that are working, living, and suffering
They
from
just didn't
mental
tell you.
illness. They didn't tell you, and you don't know.
I was one of them.
Yeah, so
You
look at
hired
this
my
guy.
ass and you fucking...
And now he's doing a podcast. What?
No, dude.
You better get his autograph, fool.
In the beginning, like, yeah, I can get a job if I'm in the right mental headspace,
Yeah.
But I was only able to hold it down for fucking 3 months and then I'm out, because that was my threshold, every time. It was a repetitive pattern, and I think it's just very sad that...
And I know there's gonna be people out there right now saying, "Oh, you're just fucking lazy. You couldn't hang." No, it's not. It has nothing
Bro,
to do with
have you seen
and
me
if
in the
you
trenches?
if you've never suffered from mental illness or thought the way we think, then you don't know. So you don't know the pain, you don't know the suffering, you don't know what we're going through, and we're not leaning on that. We're just saying how to overcome that. We're talking about how we're dealing with it and how we're overcoming it and what we've actually gone through. So,
And you know what? For the longest time, I always thought I was lazy, knowing that when I get into the actual job, I'm a very fucking hard worker, I had a shovel in my hand at a construction company for a year straight, dude. Every single day, I would get up at fucking 4:30 a.m. and all day long, my only job was to have a fucking shovel and dig trenches all day. That's it. That's all I fucking did.
just digging.
And I would still convince myself that I was lazy, And the only reason I didn't quit is because everybody else was quitting. And it was the only position where they kept having to hire new people and shit because they couldn't hack it. It was in the 111-degree weather. All you're doing is digging all day, bro. I had a heat stroke one time. I was fucking throwing up. I was bleeding from my nose, everything. And I kept working, And I still, the depression told me that I was fucking inadequate and I was lazy,
Mhm.
you're not lazy. You just have something wrong with you that you need to correct it, but you have to recognize it.
Mhm.
Because depression is going to lie to you and it's going to tell you that
Oh,
you're a piece of
yeah.
shit. It's going to tell you you're inadequate. It's going
Loser.
to tell you, that you're not good enough. That means inadequate, but it's going to tell you
Mhm.
all these fucking dark
You're a
things
loser.
and it's going to
I'm
make you
about
believe
to
this shit.
piece of
And if
shit.
you're thinking all this shit during the day, how are you going to you can't hold down, you
You
can't be
can't.
functional like that. You got to go, you got to do what you got to do to correct yourself. And because in order to correct yourself, you need that time. You
Mhm.
can't be at a job that requires 8 to 10 hours of your fucking life. You don't have anything else left over at the end of the day to correct yourself or sort through your mental issues. You just fucking want to go to sleep. And the next thing you know,
And
it's
then
fucking 5 years later and you're at this job and you're still fucked up in your head.
yeah, and you have all your bills are behind because all you're doing is working. Yeah, it's hard. It's just fucked up,
In order to
man.
get yourself better, you need to go on disability so you could take that time to yourself that it requires for you to fucking really focus on you because whether you like it or not, nobody in this world prior to the pandemic, when they shut everything down, nobody was focusing on themselves.
Nope. And
That's why marriages fell apart because they didn't even
oh
really know their
yeah.
partner. They didn't
Mm.
understand like what it was really like to spend this much time with a person until everything got shut down and they really got to look at themselves and reflect on who they are.
Yep.
A lot of people sorted through their own demons and shit during this quarantine because they had never spent this amount of time with themselves because they were always working 10, 12 hours a day over and over on weekends and they would maybe get a day to themselves off,
Yeah.
where they weren't working. And in that time, they're not going to take that time to reflect on themselves. They're going to go take that time to go do what they want to do. They couldn't do during the week.
Yep. That's
And
right.
and if you're in that situation, you have zero fucking time to focus on your mental health. None.
And not only that, but zero time to focus on your household stuff.
Yeah,
Zero
nothing.
time to focus on this or that because you're constantly out there doing this.
It's really
But
sad that people don't even have time to clean their houses, dude.
no, look, no, I just thought I was like, yeah, it's kind of nasty. No, but when being on disability for myself, um, was at first was embarrassing, but then after I got over that and I was like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says because nobody's paying my bills. My bills are backed up, behind. Everything's behind. My health is bad, and I finally started to straighten that stuff out. Got on my disability, straightened out my health. My psychologist helped me out. Got on medications. After that, my disability helped me create a program for myself in my own life. And then that program later turned into the Dig Deep journey that I'm offering to others. So if you take the time to focus on yourself and get the fixing that you need in your life, health with your health and your finances and everything, disability could be the greatest thing for you ever.
It's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool.
But it's how you utilize that
It's a
tool.
crutch.
Yes, and it's how you utilize it. It's
Yeah, how are you
what you're
gonna use
gonna
it?
do with it. Are you gonna stay on it forever and just live off of it, or are you gonna utilize it to fix your life and develop a plan for yourself for your life's journey? Because that's what I had to do. I had to figure out a plan for myself in my life's journey with open doors. And what I mean by open doors is open doors to accept things that happen. For example, this podcast. It happened. So it was an open door. So I took it
You
and
saw it as an opportunity.
opportunity.
Because when
And
I
plus
asked
we
you if
get
you want,
along great.
if I asked you, because there's two ways to approach it. If I would have asked you in the beginning, hey, do you want to do this podcast? You could have said, nah, I'm embarrassed of what people might think. There's
Yeah.
one door.
Hmm.
But you decided to view it as like, look, this is an
An open door.
opportunity
Yeah.
for me to do something and get my fucking message out there.
And I've had 2020, and this 2020 has been shit for me and a lot of people, not just me. But it's also been one of the best opportunities. I found my business coach, Tiffany Largy. I found my Marcus Marx. I've found Matt Gill, my media coach. I have all these coaches. I have my sound coach, Marcus Marx. I have so many people in my life, but it's having it's having a plan for your life, but keeping those doors open so that people like Marcus Marx or my Matt Gill or my Tiffany Largy or my Anna Gonzalez could come in and help me coaching in my life so that I could do better for myself in my life. And it's having that plan Because if you go into it without a plan, you're just going to sit there and you're just going to just waste your life away. Don't do it. Don't waste your life. Just take advantage of the opportunities that are out there and your own potential.
Well, with that said, we're winding down.
Really?
It's
What time is
an
it?
hour and 5.
Oh, I didn't even
So
realize that.
it's okay. We can, like I said, we can either
Oh.
continue this one or just, wait till next
Mhm.
week. But if you have anything to offer them as far as the PO3 pathway and the weekly challenge, throw it out there, dude. Something that
Don't lie. Just even if it's just a little white lie so that you don't have to deal with other shit. No. No, you know what?
we challenge.
Forgiveness.
This is the part of the segment where we give you guys a weekly challenge, and we use stigma
Forgiveness.
as the incentive to take walk the PO3 pathway with us and take the weekly challenge. Stigma. We flipped the meaning of stigma and turn it into an acronym, which means so that I give my all, or slowly this illness guided
Do
me
one more
along.
shot.
So for the weekly challenge, for you guys to walk the PO3 pathway, we want you guys to what?
Forgive.
Forgive. Simple as that. And with that said,
Hella people right now are like, yeah, this motherfucker just because he wants to be forgiven.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right?
You sly motherfucker.
No.
But,
Cheers.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the PO3 podcast. We're gonna be dropping shit every Monday.
Yep.
So different content every time, different topic matter, things that we're gonna discuss. We just want you guys. Our whole main goal of this podcast is for you guys to become comfortable in your own skin and doing what you need to do to get better. So
Don't be afraid to get disability.
yeah,
Try it
don't
out.
be afraid.
Apply it.
We're gonna get into this on the next one too, because I'm not
Yeah.
done talking about it.
No, it's a
But
big deal. Very important.
I enjoyed talking to you today, and
Thank you, my brother.
I hope you feel a little bit better than when you got here. So, not just
do.
because of alcohol, but
No, I do.
So, with that said, my name is Marcus Marx.
And I'm Victor Junior. Bye.
We are the PO3 Podcast.